Welcome to Vaevictis Asmadi. As far as opening hand goes, yeah, I like it. We'll keep on this one. We have secure tribe. We got some really good land-based, not land-based, but some creature-based land options. We have secure tribe elder. We also have sad robot to get some lands on the battlefield, and also have some good reclamation sage. So should be a pretty good opening hand off this one. Opponent's going to lead off with the Elixir of Immortality, and then they're going to go and pass the turn. So let's see what we draw into. We'll go and get our land down for the turn, and then I'll cover our commanders in just a second. Drawn to Marsh Flats. That is wonderful. Let's go and get down Marsh Flats, and then anything else. Let's go and pass the turn to our opponent. We're playing Vaevictis Asmadi, the Dire. Flying. Whenever Vaevictis attacks, choose target permanent player controls. Those players, oops, meant to go for that crack, but our opponent passed the turn really quick. Drawn to Bloodghast. Let's go and crack Marsh Flats. Let's go and get down Secure Tribe Elder. I think that'll be pretty good. And let's go grab another black source. We definitely did have access to another black source. Let's go and grab Bayou. Have Bayou come into play. Let's go and get down Badlands. And let's go and go for Tribe Elder. Let's go and get that down. And then I tend to F6 whenever I'm reading Commander, so we're just going to go ahead and crack on this one. That way I don't mess up something. So we're going to go grab Mountain, have that come into play, and then we're going to go and pass the turn to our opponent. We're playing Vaevictis, like I mentioned. Whenever Vaevictis attacks, choose target permanent that player controls. Those players sacrifice those permanents. Each player who sacrifices a permanent this way reveals the top card of their library, then puts it on the battlefield if it is a permanent. So basically just kind of like Chaos Warp in a way. Let's go and get down Forest. Yeah, I do like going for Sad Robot on this one. That'll get us an additional lane on the battlefield. Looks like our opponent's a little bit mana screwed, not getting access to all of their colors just yet. So I'm just going to sit here and ramp, and I will definitely take that. So let's go ahead and grab, we do have at least 30 black sources in the hand. Let's go and grab another 4. So let's go and have that come into play. And then anything else, we're going to go and pass the turn to our opponent. Playing against Samut, Voice of Dissent, Flash, Double Strike, Vigilance, and Haste. Other creatures you control have haste. Then for 1 white mana activation, untap another target creature. See if our opponent's going to hit that land drop for the turn. If not, then we'll get some pretty good stuff rolling. We do have the Gitrog monster in our hand. I'm not sure if we're going to get it down just yet. I'm not sure if we, if we had something like right from the loam, I would definitely be tempted to go for that. Let's go and push in for, let's go and get Marin down. I think that sounds good. Yeah, I like that. Let's go and get down Marin. That'll allow us to get that down. Hopefully we can get those experience counters going. We'll go and push in with Sad Robot, and we'll also get down Blooming Marsh. And I'll kind of explain what we've got going on deck-wise here in just a second. Knock our opponent down to 28. Let's go and get down Blooming Marsh, and then anything else, we're going to go and kick the turn back over there. Now, if you've not seen Vaevictis Asmadi, I did release this on MTGO Traders this past Friday, so if you want to check it out, head on over there. I do have 3 gameplay videos up and a deck tech, which is always a lot of fun. But main thing we're doing with this deck is we actually don't have a ton of Sigarda, Host of Herons, Flying Hats, can't cause you sacrifice permanents. Okay, actually, does that cut off Vaevictis? Yeah, so it's actually going to cut off Vaevictis, so we're probably going to have to go the Jund Good Stuff route on this one, which is not the end of the world going for that. And then I'll explain what else we've got going on with the deck. Now, if we can find some sort of way to deal with a Sigarda, we can actually put it on our side of the battlefield. That way we don't have to sacrifice, well, actually we'll still have to sacrifice with Vaevictis, but it'd be nice to have that. Okay, so we draw into Mazarek. How do we want to sequence this one? We're looking at a 5/5 swinging into that. You know what? Let's go and push in with Sad Robot. That way we can at least maybe kind of cash in a card draw or something like that. And if it does go to the graveyard, we can go for Reanimate to kind of bring that back onto the battlefield. Get those experience counters going with Marin. All right, we're going to push in for 2, knock them down to 26. And we are looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You know what? Since we are looking at a 5/5, let's go and get down Vaevictis. We're not going to be able to take advantage of that. It's kind of going to be a little bit more of a one-sided sacrifice because our opponent's not going to have to sacrifice stuff, but at least we'll be able to keep back Sigarda from swinging in on this one by getting down a 6/6 flyer in the air. But yeah, as far as this deck goes, like I mentioned, this is pretty much just Jund Good Stuff deck. You can kind of build a Vaevictis deck in a manner that you have a lot of ways to kind of manipulate the top part of your library. Unfortunately, with this being 1 versus 1 commander, we don't really have access to Sylvan Library or stuff like Sensei's Divining Top to really kind of set that up. And to be perfectly honest, in my playtesting, it was kind of leads a little bit better just to kind of have more of a just an overall threat on the board versus trying to set up that top part of the library. Now, it is nice to set some stuff up if you can help it, but for the most part, you just really want to swarm your opponent with a ton of creatures on that. So our opponent's going to get down Samut. We could Yeah, we're going to let that come on through. That's going to be a 3/4. I mean, we got stuff like Reclamation Sage and Bloodghast we can get that down and hopefully get these Marin triggers going. Also go for Secure Tribe Elder. Since Samut does not have Trample, we can actually declare Secure Tribe Elder a blocker and then basically just kind of keep fogging out Samut on this one, which I don't mind. And also if we get down Mazarek, that'll allow us to kind of get a few extra +1 counters on all of our creatures. So I kind of like going for that. Let's see what we draw into though. Draw into command tower. Let's go and get that down, and that will put us at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 7 total mana, which is going to be just enough. So let's go and get down Mezarek. It's going to be 1, 2. We'll choose black on this one, and then tap out for 1. And what we can do is we can get down Secure Tribe Elder, and we'll be able to bring that back. Yeah, I think I like going for that. Let's get down Tribe Elder. We can go and sacrifice Sad Robot. Our opponent, I don't think, should have to sacrifice anything off this one, but we'll still go and push in on this one. Alright, so we get the Vaevictis trigger. Let's go and choose Elixir of Mortality and Sad Robot on this. Okay, so they don't have to sacrifice, but that will give us at least a few extra permanents and allow us to draw in an additional card. And we actually do hit Catacombs off of that one. Yes, we're going to use that ability. Draw into Swamp, get a +1 counter. That will make it a 7/7 in the air, swinging across. So it actually puts us on about a 3-turn clock with commander damage and also kind of buffing our entire board. And if we're going to be going for total combat damage, we might end up going for Reclamation Sage next turn to take care of that Elixir of Mortality, just to get rid of that life gain. Is there anything else that we're going to go for? No, we're going to go and pass the turn. So we're going to be able to bring back Sad Robot. I think we might be running out of basics, so we may not be able to find a basic off Secure Tribe Elder or a Sad Robot. But like I mentioned, with Samut swinging in with that double strike, we can at least declare Tribe Elder a blocker. That'll allow us to kind of buff our entire board. But this is pretty much what you want to be doing with Vaevictis. Get down this really thriving board state that interacts really well with you sacrificing permanents. In fact, we can go for a Catacombs activation just to kind of buff the entire board again to get a few more +1 counters going on our creatures. Opponent's going to go for Green Sun Zenith for 6. Okay, let's see what they're going to search up on this one. Okay, and our opponent searched up Dragon Lord Jermoka. That's going to be, can't be countered, flying, lifelink, and your opponents can't cast spells during your turn. Okay, now let's see if they're going to swing in with Samut. We're going to go for Tribe Elder block on that if they end up going for that, which will give us a few extra counters. So let's go and declare Tribe Elder a blocker. And we're going to go and sacrifice before we go to combat. That'll give us another Marin trigger and give us an additional +1 counter on each creature that we control. We do have one more basic. We'll get the Swamp down. That is our last basic. And then we'll still go ahead and crack Catacombs since our opponent is completely tapped out on this one. Alright, we'll grab Taiga, and then anything else, the damage is going to get fogged out, and we'll kick it back over to our turn. Now, we are at the spot now to where we can get down the Gitrog monster. I think we might be able... Ooh, Omnath, Locus of Rage. Yeah, I like that. Let's see. So we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 total mana. That'll still allow us to at least go ahead and get down Reclamation Sage. Yeah, I think I like that. Let's go and get down Omnath, Locus of Rage. It's going to be double green, double red. Let's go and get the land down for the turn. Let's go and get down Swamp. That'll be an additional 5/5 Elemental. And let's go and take care of that Elixir of Mortality. Let's go and get down Reclamation Sage. I'm going to target Elixir of Mortality. Okay, take care of that. And do we want to swing in with Vaevictis? Our opponent can double block with Sigarda and Dragon Lord. Yeah, I think I kind of like forcing the issue on this one because we are looking at a 9/9, and that way we can kind of declare whatever sort of creature we want to take care of. So let's go and swing in with Vaevictis. This is going to be a 9/9 coming across on our opponent. And let's go ahead and choose, just choose Dragon Lord Jermoka. And at this point right now, we'll go ahead and choose one of our forest. And then Chaos Warper is actually the reveal zone off of that one. So we don't, unfortunately, we don't get a permanent onto the battlefield. All right, so we're going to have Sigarda chump block on this one. I think at this point right now, it's really important that we take care of Dragon Lord Jermoka. Yeah, I like getting rid of Dragon Lord Jermoka on this one. We're looking at lifelink, it's going to be a 5/7. We're at the spot now to where a 5/5 is really kind of underpowered for the sort of board state that we have developed. So let's go and assign blockers this way. So we'll do Dragon Lord Jermoka first. We'll take care of that. And unfortunately, it's going to get rid of Vaevictis. But at this point right now, we have more than enough board state to where hopefully we can swing in next turn and really kind of put some damage on our opponent. Anything else, we're going to go and pass the turn to our opponent. But yeah, this is pretty much what you want to get going with the Vaevictis. This is pretty much all the beat or Jund creatures that we have in here. We have Omnath, Locus of Rage, Marin, and Mezarek. These are all creatures that hopefully we draw into one of them, and then we get a really good thriving board state going, but thankfully we've been able to hit all of them on this one. Let's go and declare Tribe Elder a blocker on Samut, and I like holding up some of these creatures on this one, so we're just simply going to block with Tribe Elder and do that fog effect again. There'll be additional +1 counter on each creature that we control, and then there should be no more basics off this one. Alright, so our opponents will get in for 5. That will put us down to 17. And thankfully, we're looking at only 6 total commander damage at this point right now. Now, our opponent does have 3 cards in the hand. They also did get down Governey Township, so then go for that 4-mana activation of putting +1 counters on there. But thankfully, we've got, like I said, we've got a ton of creatures on the battlefield. We do have, maybe we're looking at a board wipe or something like that. If that does happen, it's not, okay, Ugin. Alright, and that will be an exile. We have no sacrifice, unfortunately, at this point right now. Yeah, they go for the minus X ability. That's going to get rid of everything. Thankfully, we still should have... Well, it's going to at least make them get rid of Ugin completely. It's going to reset the entire board. It's going to make them get rid of Sigarda, and we'll still have Omnath. Yeah, if they want to get rid of the entire board state, they're going to have to basically -7 across the entire board. And that kind of puts... Yeah, -7. Okay, I'm okay with that one. Thankfully, we can still reset pretty easily with Vaevictis, and we also still have Reanimate on Dragonlord Dramoka. So, yeah, I think I like this. I'm glad they went for that -7. All right, drawn to Crucible of Worlds. So we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 9 total mana. Let's go ahead and go for Vaevictis is going to be 8. That puts us at Vaevictis and Dragonlord. I think that sounds pretty good. Let's go for that. Let's go for Vaevictis, and then let's go and go for Reanimate on Dragonlord. Okay, and then anything else, we're going to go and pass the turn to our opponent. That's going to give us a pretty sizable threat in the air. We have tons of lands on the battlefield. We also drew into Crucible of Worlds, so basically we can start to kind of use this Vaevictis trigger as a way to really kind of start targeting our opponent's lands. Or let's say they do kind of finally swing out for Samut, or tap out for Samut. We can at least go for Vaevictis' triggered ability, targeting Samut in one of our lands, and still be okay off of Crucible of Worlds too. Okay, opponent's going to tap out for Samut. That will allow them to get an additional scry of Path of Ancestry. And thankfully, with Dragonlord Dramoka sitting at a 5/7, with Samut having double strike, it's also going to allow us to kind of keep Samut at bay. So at this point right now, we can go for Sad Robot, simply just to have a blocker for Samut, since we are sitting at 11 total life. But I think I kind of like taking care of Samut on this one. Yeah, let's go and do this. Let's go and get down Bloodghast. That's going to be 1, 2, because we can actually sacrifice Bloodghast, and then we'll be able to get down Crucible of Worlds to make a land drop out of the battlefield. So let's go and swing in. We're going to have 6/6 coming across and a 5/7. We're going to choose Samut, and we're going to choose Bloodghast on this one. And we ended up getting Gruul Signet. Okay, and our opponent, I think Hour of Promise was the reveal for them, so they weren't able to get a permanent onto the battlefield. All right, so we're going to be swinging across for 11. We'll put our opponent down to 13 total commander damage and to 13 life. Let's go and get down Crucible of Worlds. It's going to be 1, 2, 3. Get down Crucible of Worlds, and let's go and tap out for Gitrog Monster. That's going to be 1, 2, 3, because we do have a couple fetch lands out of the graveyard, and that'll allow us to really get some good value going. Let's go and get down Catacombs. It's going to bring back Bloodghast. Yes, we're going to use that ability. And let's go and bring back Marsh Flats too. And then, do we want to crack? Yeah, let's go and crack where our opponent doesn't have access to white mana. We're able to draw a card, draw into Beast Tracker. Let's go and get down Smoldering Marsh, and then let's go ahead and crack Catacombs. Draw into Dragon Skull Summit. And we'll go and grab Stomping Ground, have that come into play. We could pay 2 life to kind of represent some sort of some sort of removal spell. But, yeah, with us sitting at 14, I'd rather kind of be a little bit cautious on that one. And then we'll go and pass the turn to our opponent. But yeah, this is pretty much what you want to get going with Vaevictis. You know, when you start sacrificing Bloodghast, kind of going for these 2-for-1s to where you can deal with your opponent's permanent on the battlefield, but at the same time, just simply re-get Bloodghast back on the battlefield, making your land drop. It really kind of makes for these targets with Vaevictis really one-sided. Our opponent's going to be tapping out for a pretty good chunk of mana. Let's see what they're going to be tapping out for. Okay, opponent's going to go for Hour of Promise. Search your library for 2 lands. Let's see what they're going to reveal off of that one. Something like Maze of Ith. That would definitely be something that would slow us down, but hopefully we might be able to kind of push past a Maze of Ith. But let's see what they search up on this one. Okay, opponent's going to go for Gruul Turf, and it looks like the other one was Homeward Path, I believe. Yeah, Homeward Path. So it's going to get returned back to the hand. They're going to be able to get that, and then each player gains control of their creature. So that will allow them to at least get back Dragonlord Dramoka on their side of the battlefield. Opponent's going to go for Hull Breach, destroy target artifact. Okay, that's fine. And they did take care of Crucible of Worlds. So let's see what we draw into off this one. We will have to sacrifice a land for Gitrog. That will allow us to draw an additional land, but hopefully we're going to be able to push past on this one. What they can do is with Homeward Path, we can go for that. They can actually go for that in response to the Vaevictis trigger. So we'll see how we want to sequence that one. Let's go and sacrifice the Swamp. We're going to draw into Elves of Deep Shadow. Let's see what we draw for the turn. Oracle of Moldiah. Okay, let's go and get down Oracle. Yeah, I think I like that. We get down Oracle. That's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. Just kind of want to look at the top part of our library. And it's going to be Foreboding Ruins. Do we want to go for that? Yeah, let's go and get that down. It's going to be Reassembling Skeleton. No, not going to reveal a swamp or a mountain. And let's go ahead and go for Beast Tracker. Let's see if we can kind of set up the top part of our library with this Vaevictis trigger. Let's go and grab Grave Titan. Yeah, I think I like that. Let's go and put Grave Titan on top. That'll be really good because that'll give us a few. We just really want to swarm the board on our opponent. With them getting back Dragonlord Dramoka, that will be good for them with the Homeward Path, but hopefully we've got a good enough board state to where we can really kind of take advantage of it. All right, so let's go and push in on this one. And with the Vaevictis trigger, let's go and choose Homeward Path. And then at this point right now, we'll just go and choose we'll choose one of our lands. That way we can cash in an additional card draw. Okay, we're going to get Grave Titan onto the battlefield, get those zombies going, and we'll get an additional card draw off this too. Now, off the Vaevictis trigger, we did hit Excavator too, which is always interesting. I forget, they just pop up so quick. I'm like, where did that come from? All right, we put our opponent all the way down to 1. And that does put us at 5 total mana in the hand. We could go for Cruel Tutor to put something on top. Let's go and save that for next turn. Maybe we want to grab something like Merciless Executioner to really kind of target our opponent's board state. I think we'll be okay on this one though. But let's see how they want to roll out the turn. They only have Dragonlord Jamoka on the battlefield at this point right now. If they wanted to tap out for Governey Township, they can. We're looking at about 10 and Grave Titan and 2 zombies. We have Beast Tracker coming across, Oracle of Moldiah, and also Gitrog and Vaevictis. So we've got a pretty good board. I think we should be able to push past that lifelink on that one. We'll see what they draw into. They did have 1 card in the hand, and then Homeward Path out of the graveyard. Okay, opponent's going to go for Samut the Tested. Up to 1 target creature gains double strike, -2, deals 2 damage divided, and then -7, search your library for 2 creature and or planeswalker cards, put on the battlefield. Okay, see what they're going to do with Samut. And they're going to give Dragonlord Jamoka a double strike, which actually gives some really good lifelink. So that's going to be 10 coming across, putting us down to 4, and that will put them back up to 11 at least off of that. Okay, opponent's going to go for Governey Township activation, putting a +1 counter on each creature that they control. Now, that will give the Excavator a 3/4, and they are looking at a 6/8 double strike. That will put us down to 12, but I think at this point right now, we'll be okay on that. We have no blockers in the air, so we're going to let that come across. It's going to put us down to 2, and hopefully they don't have some sort of burn spell or something like that one, but I think we should be able to close this one out. We'll see what we draw into, though. Draw Dimiri's Guile, and we'll see what else is on top of our library. Let's go in at this point right now. Let's go and sacrifice this mountain. So we'll draw Dimiri's Guile, Temple of Malice, and then Titania. Okay, let's go and get down. Let's go and swing in with Vaevictis. We're going to go and take care of Dragonlord Jamoka on this one. And then... yeah, this has been definitely a good game by our opponent. It was a lot of fun with this. Let's go and swing in with Vaevictis, swing in with the Gitrog monster. We'll go and swing in with Oracle, Beast Tracker, Grave Titan, and then we'll get 2 zombies swinging in too. Now, if something does happen, we do have a few more creatures to get down on the back end. Let's go and choose Vaevictis trigger. Let's go and choose Dragonlord Jamoka. And then at this point right now, we'll just go and choose one of our forests. Okay, so we're going to get the Titania trigger. Let's go ahead and grab Mountain. Have that come back onto the battlefield. Okay, there we go. Knock our opponent down to -13, dealing enough commander damage too, and getting their life total down. But this is pretty much what you're going to get going with the Vaevictis deck. We did draw pretty hot, to be perfectly honest, to our opponent, so good game to our opponent. Getting down Gitrog, just getting down this good stuff Jund option really allows you to kind of develop this board state that's really hard to deal with, especially when you get down Vaevictis and you start picking off your opponent's really good permanents. You can see where our opponent did get down Ugin, but they had to completely wipe the entire board to take care of Omnath, Locus of Rage, get that Road Rage going. But you can also see where fun stuff like Beast Tracker, you can really kind of set up the top part of your library, getting down something like Grave Titan. Beast Tracker was one of my favorite cards when I first got into Magic, so being able to use it in a deck like this to our advantage is always a lot of fun. And especially when you have just really good graveyard recursion. We have stuff like Titania, whenever a land we control is put into the graveyard, we get a 5/3 elemental token. I mean, it's just oozing with tons of synergy, and it just works out to where it's just a ton of fun to play. But good game to our opponent. It's definitely a really close one, and if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.